What is up, everyone? Pongroomproductions back at it again. And we have a very special edition because this is 100 subscriber celebration. Finally.
It is. Wow,
We
that's
did
right.
it.
I forgot
We
about
did
that.
it.
We were doing a thing for
And
this, celebration.
Basically, we said once we got to 100 subscribers, we would start doing a little bit more due diligence with the research. So
We did?
We did. We did.
Sorry.
We did. We just saw Silent Night. And we're going to talk about it. What was the actor's name again?
Joel Kinnaman, I believe.
And he was a Swedish actor.
Swedish actor. He was in the RoboCop reboot and
Yep.
also Altered Carbon.
Yeah, Altered Carbon.
Netflix and all
Yep.
that.
And a few other things too. Suicide Squad as well.
Right.
You know, he's been popping up here and there, and this was kind of like his I want to say he's kind of like a B-list actor.
Something like that.
Something like that. And
the biggest name is John Woo, the director. Of course. He's been around forever. He's a big action, filmmaker.
Let's also give a bit of a shout out to Kid Cudi was in this
Cudi.
movie. Kid Cudi. We're not even going to use his whatever his actual name is. It's just Kid Cudi.
It's Kid Cudi. That's what he meant.
He was briefly in it. He was in it, a few scenes here and there. But right out the gate on a 1 to 10 scale, I'm going to give this movie a 6. I was thinking 6.5.
Wow.
But I'm just going to settle at a 6 because, I was thinking in the car ride home, right? I was thinking 6.5 because it did the whole thing without saying any dialogue. So that was very interesting.
True.
The movie's called Silent Night, and the whole thing is just no words.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of expressions, a lot of texting. They did, and a lot of note taking and letter writing, but no actual words.
No dialogue.
Maybe some screaming from pain, but that's about it.
It's true. Yeah, that was an interesting theme, thematic, thing throughout the film. No dialogue.
What did you think of it?
Well, I'm on the other end of the spectrum. I was between a 3 and a 4. I'm going 3.
3.
Underwhelmed, not a good movie. We can talk about that. Do you want to expound on your 6?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay, so it's a Christmassy action movie.
Christmassy.
It's barely Christmassy. Basically, there was a Christmas tree and a present, and I guess it was
Silent Night.
Silent Night, and it was taking place around Christmas time for when the events happened.
Don't forget the calendar.
Yeah.
His Advent calendar of death.
Yeah. He was very specific. That would tie. That's basically if they found that he would be guilty. What is this right here?
A lot of evidence.
Yeah,
a lot of evidence.
On that handwritten calendar.
Very visual, for the audience. Yeah.
It reminded me of John Wick 1.
Really?
A little bit. Because the gung fu or gun fu or whatever.
Sure.
He wasn't quite as impressive. The training montage, racing montage to improve his driving.
Isn't it a little... I mean, look, it's a standard revenge film. Not standard. I mean, they took some different choices. Like with the silent, not having dialogue was interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting. They were relatively realistic with it,
Relatively realistic?
It's a movie.
Can a man get in that great a shape and be that good a shot and be an expert car driver in like 3 or 4 months?
No, it was a whole year.
It wasn't a whole year. It was like it started in April. Remember, they said it was like Easter time. So
okay, I wasn't.
So
I thought it was a
months.
whole year.
No, not even a whole year,
from
dude.
sometime in December all the way to the next
Probably takes someone
December.
10 years to get even somewhere close to that. Anyway, it's a movie. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
It's a movie. I had a fun time with the movie, but what I'm saying is, it reminded me of John Wick 1. It gave me a little bit of. It's like Great Value, John Wick 1.
Great Value.
Yeah.
Walmart.
Yeah. It reminded me of, I guess, a little bit of, I want to say Die Hard because it's around Christmas time. And there's another movie I was thinking of. What's the movie with the one guy from Better Call Saul? Where he did like his own.
Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah. But what's the movie?
That movie was called.
What was that called?
Like Mr. Nice Guy
or Mr. Nobody.
It was just called Nobody.
Nobody, yeah. So
that was a good movie.
It reminded me a little bit of those 3 movies.
But the thing is like Nobody, Bob Odenkirk and John Wick are like nearly invincible. Whereas this guy, yeah, he took a lot
Yeah,
of
he took a
damage.
lot. Now,
But he was messy and didn't know exactly what he was doing. And even with all the training, when it got to real life, it
yeah.
was like, he was,
Um,
so that was
I
interesting.
want to touch on some continuity errors, right? Because I catch them all the
Oh
time.
boy, go ahead.
Was it him that got stabbed in the leg in the
Yeah,
garage
I was
fight?
just thinking
Yeah,
that.
and then like the
And then he's
next,
walking
and that
fine.
was a knife that was like this
That
big.
was him.
Yeah,
That I thank God because I
yeah,
forgot
yeah.
about that. Yeah, that was a huge one. I was like, mental note.
And
How
that's
is he
when,
walking?
yeah, and then that's when like he had the facial expression of like, oh, this isn't going exactly how I imagined it in my head, and I just got
Right.
stabbed. Like the adrenaline was kicking in.
But then afterwards, you ain't walking.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
bleeding out and going to the hospital or
Yeah,
dying. Yeah.
that was an issue, and then there was another issue with Kid Cudi. He got shot twice
In the
in the
stomach.
stomach, but then when he like at the very end when he like kind of laid on his back, it looked like there was only one wound he was holding.
Really?
It looked like it because the one shot was kind of high up into his gut, maybe like just below his chest, and I was like, that might be a death.
Guys, what happened?
Yeah, and what happened to those two very serious gunshot wounds? And
Come on, guys.
yeah.
That's amateur hour.
yeah, and also the bad guy, I did not like. I did not like him.
It was lame.
I felt like
I have a tattoo on my face.
yeah, I know,
Okay,
but he
got
was
it.
like super skinny. Like he wasn't even that buff.
Yeah. Do you mean like the mini boss guy? The
no,
guy who took like a knife and shots
yeah,
and he
I
was
was-
still alive?
I was gonna
The
say-
Terminator guy?
I was gonna say he was more of a bad boss than the last guy. 'cause
yeah.
he
The
took-
last guy was
he
pretty
was
easy.
He was like
yeah.
a bullet sponge. Like it was a yeah, but yeah, the last guy was really easy, and yeah, I didn't really like the whole. I understand. Like I thought they were gonna maybe go through it together, but it was of course
Yeah, I was
they
waiting for
split
some
up.
buddy action. They kind of got
Yeah.
and that's a John Woo thing to have like buddy, good guy like cop and bad guy like combined together.
Yeah.
That's a good really classic John Woo thing.
Yeah.
And it was only for like a second they did that. And
Yeah.
then so that kind of ruined. It's like, come on, give us some John Woo action.
And
you know?
they gave Kid Cudi a good amount of ability. He was
Yeah, he had skills.
he had a pretty
skills that kills.
Yeah, and I thought they were going to do some damage together, at least for like maybe the
Yeah,
upper.
we were deprived. We were like
Yeah.
teased. We were teased with it, but then
Yeah.
then it ended like 2 seconds later.
Yeah,
So.
that got on my nerves, and of course, he let like the female girlfriend. He showed her
female girlfriend.
He showed her so much mercy after she just tried to murder both of them, and he pays for it. And then of course he's like, "Ah, I shouldn't have done that." And then
Whoops.
yeah, I guess he was.
Wait. Was it him that killed her?
It
I
was
can't remember.
it was a bit of both. Cudi
Was
kind
it Kid Cudi got her?
Cudi kind of came in and got her.
Cudi kind
and,
of came in.
But that's when Cudi got two-pieced.
Two piece in the stomach, a double tap in the
But
stomach.
go ahead. Tell me what you thought about it.
So you're giving it a 6 or a 6.5?
I'm gonna stay with a 6.
Man, that's high. I mean,
I was
there's a
enter-
lot of cheese in this movie. Like in the very end, and I guess you could say, okay, he's hallucinating, and he's having a vision, and like on the Christmas ball, he sees his son.
Yeah.
As he's murdering this guy, he's like seeing his
choking him
son.
out, yeah.
As he's choking this guy out horrifically, violently choking him out.
It was a
and then he's
very
also having a
violent movie.
vision. He's having a vision of his son graduating in the future,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
if he
yeah,
had
yeah.
lived, and it was just, come on, man, this is too much, a little too much schmaltz.
I felt like the movie was self-aware, and they were just. It was clearly.
Really, I didn't get that vibe.
Oh, it reminded me a little bit of Death Sentence, also with what's the guy who?
Yeah, Kevin Bacon.
Kevin
I never
Bacon.
seen it, but I know of that.
That was a pretty
movie.
good one. Pretty good
It
one.
was like Death. It was like a remake of Death. Not a remake, but you ever heard of Death Wish?
Yeah, yeah,
This
yeah.
is a genre. These revenge
Yeah,
flicks.
yeah,
Like regular guy has a family member killed or
Yeah,
family is
total
killed.
revenge mode.
Then he goes into he like
hunts them
becomes
all down.
awesome and
Yeah.
all of this
I
stuff.
understand.
Yeah.
But I give it a 6. I was entertained. It reminded me
That's
a
a
little.
high score,
it was
man.
It was kind of
High
like
score.
I liked it, because I
liked it.
kind of liked the actor. Kid Cudi was a surprise. I didn't.
The actor was good. Kinnaman was good.
I didn't
yeah.
even see a trailer for this movie.
Me neither. I didn't even watch the trailer. I read like a little
So-
synopsis, like okay, he gets his throat shot, so he can't talk
Yeah,
and all of
and
this.
I give it a 6 because it was interesting enough to have no dialogue, and I
Yeah.
was still kind of like, okay, let's watch.
I got to give it a 3. It was just, it didn't really break the genre. It didn't have any real original stuff. Like in other words,
Yeah.
classic. All the gangsters they poke out and stand out in the open with shoot me in the stomach or shoot me in the head, hurry up,
Yeah.
and he's one guy
I mean,
just in a fishbowl of bullets and he's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Which is okay. It's a movie. I get it, but it's like, come on, can we try and do a little something
A little
different
bit
with
more
that?
tactical.
Something,
Little bit,
something. Put a little inch, like a couple of inches of realism in there, or
little bit more
something.
Punisher. Some
Yeah.
training.
Which one? Which one?
The
Punisher.
Netflix series.
Oh yeah, I never really watched
Oh
that.
man,
Yeah, I got to get into
it
that.
is
Yeah,
brutal.
it's good.
It's brutal.
It's like
It's
not.
good.
It's not cheesy or
No, it's legit.
dude. Speaking of brutal, I had to look away at a bunch of scenes.
Yeah.
They were doing surgery on his neck
Yeah.
hole,
And by the way,
I was like, I don't need to see this.
by
you
the
know?
way, the blood looked very real in that
Yeah,
one.
no, thank you.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
that was too much for me. I had to look
was-
away.
But then he had like the smallest little scar on his neck. They should have had like a big old. I thought they were gonna. Oh, and they didn't even say a word when he had like the thing that like smokers use. You know, like
yeah, he refused to do it.
that
Yeah,
would have been hilarious if he would.
now that would have made the. I would give it a 10 if he had been like, "I'm going to kill you."
Yes,
It would have become a comedy then. Yeah, it would have been a comedy. You know, sorry to make fun of disabled people who have to use the cancer kazoo or whatever you call it.
Wow.
That's messed up. Sorry about that.
That's some
Apologies.
dark humor right there.
Sorry
but
about that, guys.
If you see the movie, you'll understand.
Look, we calls them as we sees them, and that was a missed opportunity.
Let's go rewatchability 1 to 10. We're about 11 minutes in. We're having fun with it.
11 minutes.
Rewatchability. I'm gonna give it a 4 or a 5. I don't know where I stand.
Interesting. I thought you'd be higher than that.
I think 1's good enough for me. But if it was on Netflix and next Christmas, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's a good movie. It's one of those types of genres, revenge,
Right.
and I would put it in the list of like, hey, yeah, watch this one. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I gave it a 3 for my overall score. Rewatchability, I'll actually go higher, which doesn't make sense. I'll give it a 4. Because it's kind of in the realm of if someone said to me, "Hey, I want to see that movie," I'd be like, "Okay, I'll go and see it with you. I want to see how you react to the throat surgery scene. If you can endure that."
It was rough. It was rough.
You watched I looked over at you, and you were
I was glued.
You were glued to the throat surgery.
Doing the research to see if it was real. If it looked
so
good, if it
gross.
was,
I had my baseball hat. I'm looking down,
and you were trying to eat during.
That's true. Yeah, I made sure not to look at it. Although I saw little glimpses, and I was like, "Jeez,
it was bad."
There was another scene where I had to look away. What was it?
I don't know.
Oh, when he was shooting up the girl with heroin.
Oh, yeah, that was bad.
I had to look away from that.
Yeah,
that was too much.
Well, they rose the camera. They didn't show it.
They didn't.
They
That's right. They
it,
did.
but it was rough. It was
was
definitely
messed
rough.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a classic revenge gang.
Classic.
One guy versus 100, and he's totally wins.
Well, he does, die in the end. Right?
I guess. Yeah, he was messed up.
He
Yeah,
did.
He was
He
messed
did.
up.
Kid Cudi's dead. He's dead.
Yeah, and they all just died.
They all dead.
The end.
The end. You get to see his note to his wife.
Yeah.
Make it all right.
Yeah.
Does that really make it right? Okay.
Well,
sure. Okay, man.
Then he dies too, so could have just totally mended the
I'm
family.
sure your son's very proud of you in heaven as you're in hell. Right?
I killed them all.
Killed them all, son. Yeah, thanks, Dad.
All right, let's wrap this up. Thank you for the 100th subscriber.
Yes.
The audio
very
is
happy.
terrible right here, but we're gonna watch that movie.
Part of the charm.
We got a request, and we're gonna have to look it up.
Which one is it again?
I'm gonna have to come back to you because there was 2 different ones.
There's 2 different ones.
Well, no, there's a movie request, but there's 2
there's
different
we got to
years.
find out from the commenter because
Yes.
there's 2. There's an original and then a remake.
Yeah, so we're gonna get to it. We will watch it and we will review it.
the house on the left. House on the left.
Yes, and then we're gonna tag him in the description. And
Okay.
then hopefully he totally or whoever it is.
Yeah, we'll have to find. Hopefully, we can find it on streaming.
Yeah.
We don't have the budget to buy movies.
But with that added, comment down below if there's another movie you want us to watch.
Okay.
That's not in theaters, and we'll try to do some.
We'll do our
homework.
best.
Yeah, we'll do our best to watch it and to review it. All right,
Cool.
guys, we're out. See ya.
Peace out. Thanks.